Movie apparently is not very good. I haven't seen it yet. I would be shocked if it were. Again, the star, Rachel Zegler, is unbelievably charmless in public. Studios really need to go back to what they originally did, which was tell your stars to shut up and not say things, because no one is paying to hear your star say offensive things off the screen.
So this point has been made, but this truly is the worst casting maybe in the history of the film industry.
The reason we had Rachel Zegler on the docket is she's an asshole.
Breaking updates, very important. Snow White, there's been an enormous amount of controversy surrounding Snow White, obviously.
Ben Shapiro just set the entire entertainment world on fire by asserting that Sydney Sweeney will take the lead in a brand new Snow White remake. Yes, you heard that right. He's not merely dropping hints, he's flat out giving what he calls a confirmation. And with those claims, fans are ripping into Rachel Zegler for her part in the recent Snow White debacle that practically bombed at the box office. People are fed up.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing, before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
I think this girl does not deserve a feature-length film.
You want to trash that legacy? That company that now Disney has screwed up the last 5 years trying to please a small percentage of minorities in America? Yeah, we're sick of it. So the more you do this, Disney, Iger, Ziegler, whatever her name is, yes, this is exactly the backlash you're going to get from parents who have kids who are your customers. You're supposed to win parents over. You're talking to kids, the parents pay for the tickets. You have to be a dummy as a marketer. If I'm Bob Iger, you know what we're doing? Emergency meeting. We're putting Snow White on hold for 2 years, and guess what? Pay her a couple $1 million, go away. We're going to bring another person to play this role because you just screwed this thing up.
Hollywood is in chaos, and we're about to dive headfirst into the most jaw-dropping, eyebrow-raising set of revelations you'll hear all day.
Dump on half of the country, everyone who voted for Trump.
But you are not entitled to call for Trump supporters to be harmed. Like, you are actually not entitled to do that. And so let me just remind you, Rachel Zegler, of what the map looks like, just so you can understand when your Disney movie is coming out, how many people you are wishing harm upon. Like, this is America right now. I will love you through these 4 years as best I can. F Donald Trump. Yeah, totally stable thing for her to be posting, wishing harm upon Trump voters, wishing that we have no peace.
President Rachel Zegler also posted, F Trump kinds of posts on social media. She also said that she hoped that Trump supporters, quote, never know peace.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood.
Let's dissect exactly how it all went wrong for Rachel, and exactly why the world's fixated on Sydney swooping in to save the day. Rachel Zegler appeared to be on a high when she first made waves in Hollywood, but the glory didn't last long. From the start, she made quite a scene, openly criticizing the timeless narrative of Disney's original Snow White. She dubbed certain elements outdated.
Dump on half of the country, everyone who voted for Trump.
But you are not entitled to call for Trump supporters to be harmed. Like, you are actually not entitled to do that. And so let me just remind you, Rachel Zegler, of what the map looks like, just so you can understand when your Disney movie is coming out, how many people you are wishing harm upon. Like, this is America right now. I will love you through these 4 years as best I can. F Donald Trump. Yeah, totally stable thing for her to be posting, wishing harm upon Trump voters, wishing that we have no peace.
President Rachel Zegler also posted, F Trump kinds of posts on social media. She also said that she hoped that Trump supporters, quote, never know peace.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood.
No peace.
President Rachel Zegler also posted, F Trump kinds of posts on social media. She also said that she hoped that Trump supporters, quote, never know peace.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood.
But her attitude rubbed hardcore Disney loyalists the wrong way. Instead of modernizing a classic, fans claim she disrespected a beloved fairy tale. And after the new live-action attempt tripped and fell on its face at the box office, viewers turned that skepticism into outright fury. The so-called Snow White box office meltdown is at the forefront of every conversation. People are flooding social media with pointed remarks about Rachel's performance and how her dismissive comments about the original storyline directly contributed to the film's downfall. Insiders are whispering that not even Disney's top brass is happy with her. Negative reviews, underwhelming ticket sales, and a flurry of controversies left the entire project in a downward spiral. Studio executives may smile for the cameras, but behind closed doors, they're reportedly done, with the negativity swirling around their once favorite star. Now, toss in Ben Shapiro's sudden decision to speak up. He's known for stirring the pot, and this time, he's got a massive scoop that's turning heads all over Hollywood. According to the firestorm of posts and videos, Shapiro's stepping forward with the big reveal. Sydney Sweeney is stepping up to the plate. That means the actress who soared in popularity thanks to breakout roles in edgy dramas might be the one to erase Rachel's disastrous legacy. The question is, how far along are these hush-hush plans? And how exactly did Sydney manage to overshadow Rachel so quickly? The answer, it appears, is staring us right in the face. The new generation of audiences wants a lead who truly appreciates the legacy of classic fairy tales, not someone who tears it apart. With Rachel reeling from the humiliation of a failing box office, Hollywood is allegedly treating Sydney as the fresh face that could restore some dignity and profit to the Snow White name. And yes, Shapiro's commentary was just the spark that set this bombshell rumor ablaze. Sydney Sweeney didn't get here by accident. She sprang onto the scene with a vengeance, piling up acting credits that showcased her range and raw talent. Critics started paying attention when she single-handedly stole scenes in high-intensity TV dramas. Audiences fell in love with her. Sincerity, her knack for transformation, and her ability to portray multi-layered characters with ease. Everything about her screams that she's the total package Hollywood is craving right now, so it's hardly surprising that rumors indicate Disney bigwigs looked at the fiasco with Rachel Zegler and said, "We can't afford another flop." People are openly whispering that the studio either wants to recast Snow White entirely or push forward with an alternate adaptation. The common denominator in these behind-the-scenes rumblings is one name, Sydney Sweeney. If you look at the chatter online, fans are absolutely thrilled. They believe Sweeney is the perfect blend of classic Hollywood glam and modern relatability, a trait that's in high demand. And that's the real kicker here. Sydney's ascension is fueling the downfall of Rachel's once promising career. Hollywood thrives on the next big thing, and the comedic part is that Sweeney's fans argue she's everything Rachel Zegler, is not humble, respectful of iconic roles, and fully aware that the audience has the final say in a film's success. If there's any truth to Ben Shapiro's so-called confirmation, it's that the secret's out. Sydney Sweeney is rumored to be Disney's golden ticket, but let's be brutally clear. While Rachel was out there criticizing the older fairy tale themes, Sweeney appears poised to reinvent them in a way that captivates modern viewers without alienating fans of the original. That's what makes her stand out. She's not dismissing tradition, she's just adding a spark to it. And with every passing day, more entertainment insiders seem to be turning their backs on Rachel, pinning their hopes on Sydney. When Ben Shapiro speaks, controversy follows. Love him or hate him, the man knows how to command attention. And in the swirling rumor mill that is Hollywood gossip, he's suddenly the one forging the narrative around a brand new Snow White project. He didn't mince words either. According to various recaps of his statement, Shapiro laid it out plainly. I've heard from multiple credible sources that Sydney Sweeney is the top contender for a new Snow White film. Cue the explosions in the comment sections across the internet. Fans took those words as gospel. After all, Shapiro isn't typically known for sensationalizing entertainment news. He's more recognized for political commentary. So, if he's bold enough to weigh in on casting rumors, people suspect there's real meat to the story. Within hours, social media was ablaze with reactions. Disney loyalists voiced excitement at the prospect, while Rachel Zegler's shrinking. Supporters cried foul, labeling the rumor an act of betrayal by the studio. Others saw it as perfect karma for Rachel's alleged disrespect toward the original fairy tale. In the aftermath of Shapiro's supposed bombshell, Disney executives have stayed surprisingly mum. That silence speaks volumes. It suggests that either these rumors are painfully accurate, or the studio is still scrambling to figure out damage control. One ththing's for sure, every major entertainment outlet is dissecting Shapiro's words, as if they're an official press release, analyzing the ramifications of a swift casting shakeup. The mere thought that the fiasco involving Rachel Zegler could be undone with a fresh approach is lighting a fire under fans who want Snow White's legacy preserved. It's not every day that a major figure steps outside their usual domain to confirm a star's casting. Whether you believe Shapiro or not, you can't deny the buzz he's generated. He's effectively forced Disney's hand into addressing the possibility or letting the rumor simmer until the hype either escalates or fizzles. So far, it's doing the former. People are more excited than ever at the notion of Sweeney in the iconic role. And honestly, it's a publicity goldmine. Social media can be a brutal battlefield, and right now, Rachel Zegler is on the losing side. The minute the rumor gained traction, entire communities of fans erupted with glee that the supposedly arrogant star might be replaced. Tweets were flying, with some praising Disney for finally seeing the light, while others labeled the studio spineless for not sticking with Rachel. Hashtags like Nug Sydney SS No White began trending at breakneck speed, leaving Zegler's supporters outnumbered and overshadowed. Countless people pointed out how ironically fitting it would be for Sydney Sweeney to step in and fix what they call Rachel's mess. Memes circulated, portraying Sweeney as the savior of Disney's battered brand, while Zegler was depicted as the villain who turned a precious franchise into a box office train wreck. The narrative is savage and, for Rachel, incredibly humiliating. Some fans are saying that it's about time the outspoken actress faced consequences for her dismissive commentary about the original 1937 classic, industry insiders and anonymous. Sources also claim Disney had to do major damage control after Rachel's interviews went viral. Negative press can sometimes be beneficial, but this was far too toxic. Sponsors and merchandising partners reportedly voiced concerns. There's a rumor that toy sales tied to Rachel's version of Snow White massively underperformed compared to other Disney princess merchandise. And so, in the court of public opinion, Rachel lost a battle she barely realized she was fighting. The silver lining, at least for Disney, is that the public's negativity toward Rachel is almost perfectly balanced by their optimism about Sydney Sweeney. Even those who don't typically follow casting announcements have perked up at the thought of a new leading lady. If the studio moves forward with Sweeney at the helm, the viral wave of support might just help them rebound from the fiasco. But as the online drama intensifies, one thing's certain: Rachel's image is taking a serious hit, and there may be no turning back. Snow White is more than just a character. She's a cultural icon who launched Disney's animated empire back in 1937. For millions of fans across generations, she represents innocence, fairy tale romance, and the magic of happily ever after. So when Rachel Zegler and Disney decided to reimagine the classic, fans were cautiously excited. They expected a respectful update, maybe a modern twist that honors tradition. Instead, they got pointed remarks that downplayed the original's value, plus changes that felt more like a complete departure than a loving homage. The fallout was massive. Die-hard Disney buffs accused Rachel of tarnishing the legacy of the first ever Disney princess. She came across as dismissive to the heart and soul of what made Snow White timeless. That's one of the biggest reasons the recent box office numbers went down the drain. Fans felt their treasured childhood memories were being disrespected, and they voted with their wallets, skipping the film entirely. Now, in the midst of this uproar, Sydney Sweeney is seen as a potential redeemer. She's made no negative statements about the classics that anyone can find, and that alone has won her points with the loyal fanbase. The excitement isn't just about her being a talented actress, it's also about her being the exact opposite of Rachel's public persona. Many longtime fans believe that only a star with genuine admiration for classic tales can revive Snow White's tarnished image. Disney executives may not admit it, but they're probably desperate for a chance to rescue Snow White from permanent branding damage. If the rumors are true, and Sweeney is indeed stepping up for a new or reimagined version, it could be the perfect synergy of modern star power and timeless storytelling. By honoring the fairy tale's core while bringing fresh energy, Sydney might just put Snow White back on the throne where she rightfully belongs. People are crossing their fingers that Disney has learned its lesson. Don't alienate your core audience, and don't let a single actress's personal views overshadow the enchantment that made your studio a household name in the first place. What happens when one star is blamed for torpedoing a billion-dollar franchise and another star is propped up as the savior? You get sparks, tension, and rumors of a feud that might be as epic as the fairy tale itself. Rachel Zegler has remained relatively quiet ever since the catastrophic box office results. Meanwhile, Sydney Sweeney hasn't exactly come out and denied anything. She's kept mum, leaving the door wide open for speculation that she's gearing up for a big announcement. Fans and critics are interpreting every social media post for signs of shade or subtext. If Rachel shares a cryptic message about resilience, some assume she's taking a jab at the hype over Sydney. If Sydney posts an Instagram story featuring a Disney theme, the internet explodes with theories that she's confirming her new role. The tension feels palpable, even if neither actress has outright acknowledged each other in public. Hollywood thrives on drama, and executives might be egging on this rivalry behind closed doors. Nothing sells better than a headline that pits two rising stars against each other. The script almost writes itself. Rachel is the fallen Snow White who couldn't connect with fans, while Sydney is the radiant newcomer who everyone adores. And let's be frank, this rumored feud boosts publicity. Whether genuine or engineered for clicks, it keeps people glued to social media, waiting for the next development. So there you have it. Rachel Zegler's failed Snow White attempt has left a gaping hole in Disney's once flawless kingdom, and it's Sydney Sweeney who's allegedly rising up to fill the void. Ben Shapiro's confirmation lit a match, turning whispers into an all-out blaze of speculation. Fans are eating it up, whether they love or hate the idea. For many, it feels like justice for the timeless fairy tale that Rachel supposedly disrespected. For others, it's a last-ditch attempt to save face after a historic bomb at the box office. But this epic drama isn't just about two actresses vying for a role, it's about the future of Disney's entire strategy. Are they learning from their mistakes and giving fans the classic elements they crave? Or are they doubling down on controversy for the sake of headlines and hype? One thing's certain, this saga is far from over. The conversation about Snow White, Rachel Zegler, Sydney Sweeney, and the fate of Disney's legacy continues to unfold, day by day. And that leaves us with one final thought. Have we seen the last of Rachel Zegler's influence on this franchise? Or will she launch a comeback that nobody expects? Only time will tell. For now, the spotlight is firmly on Sydney Sweeney, the rumored new face of a role that's practically a piece of American folklore. So brace yourselves, because if the pattern holds, the next twist in this whirlwind of Hollywood drama will be even more outrageous. You'd best believe we're only scratching the surface of the story, and the real revelations might be lurking just around the corner.